All right, here we go. We're on now for another summarizing session of A Study in Scarlet, the Sherlock Holmes first book by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. We're going to try to do this super fast. 3 chapters. Chapter 5, 6, and 7. So let's quickly see how fast we can get everything in. This was a pretty action-packed section. So let's just go, chapter 5. What happens? So they go home after investigating the house on Brixton Street. In Brixton Street, I think so. And Watson tries to rest, but is consumed by the murder. So even though he's a soldier, he's seen death. He's shocked. He's horrified by the murder scene he saw. Sherlock comes home from a concert and can see that Watson is disturbed. The new thing is that Sherlock has put an ad in the newspapers that a gold wedding ring has been lost. In hopes of the murderer coming to collect it from Baker Street. Okay. So yeah, he puts an ad out saying, somebody's ring, we found it. If it's yours, come and get it from Watson on Baker Street, which is their house. So why did he do that? He does this because he believes that the drunk man that the police let get away from the murder scene is in fact the murderer, and that he came back to collect the ring, but because there were too many police, he pretended to be drunk and then escaped. So Sherlock thinks the ring is the reason that the man in the brown jacket came back. So but he doesn't. It's not even a real ring. It's a fake ring. He's been lost. So the ring is fake. Is a replica. It's not the real one. Let's see. They get. Let's see. We'll say that Watson gets his gun because Sherlock is so sure. Sherlock is so sure that the man will come. And sure enough, the doorbell rings. Okay. They hear someone come up the stairs, and Sherlock is puzzled because he doesn't expect the person at the door, who is an old woman. He doesn't expect the door who is an old, yeah. So yeah, they can hear her coming up the stairs, and then Sherlock makes a face like, who is this? This is not some murderous man that he understood from the crime scene. It's an old lady. She says it's my daughter's. I was going to the circus. Yeah, thank you so much. I found it. And then we'll say, yeah, she talks about her daughter and how glad she is. and gives her address, and they let her go. Let her go because Sherlock is going to follow her. Watson stays home, and Sherlock jumps on the back of the taxi that the lady climbs in. The lady climbs into. At midnight, Sherlock comes home in defeat because when the taxi arrived, there was nobody inside. So yeah, that is a mystery. So the driver opens up the door and nobody's in there. No lady, nobody, nothing. So Sherlock was given the slip. And that's it. So that's a pretty good chapter there. Lots of stuff in there. Hopefully we can cut some out later. Chapter 6. Okay, so this one starts with the newspapers have scooped up the story of the murder on Brixton, which I think is the street. So I'll say on Brixton Street. I think so. And Sherlock complains that the credit will eventually go to Scotland Yard or the police, not to him. Suddenly, a gang of youths appear, and they seem to be Sherlock's I don't know, like group of helpers. He pays them each 1 shilling. He pays them each 1 shilling for to search for something. We don't know what. What are they looking for? What are they looking for? We don't know. Then what happens? Okay, then now Detective Gregson shows up triumphantly. Okay, he has tracked down where the dead man was staying by investigating his hat maker. Okay, so, and that's basically it. There's Gregson, he looks at the hat. Oh, this is, custom hat. I'll go there. The hat maker has an address, goes to the address, and then I guess arrests the owner or the landlord. He must be involved. And that's about it. Next, Detective Lestrade shows up, looking very troubled. His task was to go after the dead man's secretary, Stangerson. Stangerson. And last thing, it turns out he was killed this morning at 6 a.m. Okay, which means it's not as simple as just that landlord being the killer or whatever Gregson thought. Yeah, it's not that simple. Which means, this case is more complicated. And that's it. All right, so some good development there. Okay, good. Making good time. Let's see. Now we go chapter 7. So Lestrade explains how he found the secretary and, goes to his hotel. When he gets there, he is shown the room, and there is blood coming from under the door. There's blood, let's see, kind of pooling from under the door into the hallway. Oh, that's a really, it's kind of, I don't know, this is kind of an exciting part of the story where it's everything up to now is kind of, oh, what happened? But now it's like, oh, something is happening now. So the blood is coming from under the door. They kick the door down. Lestrade and the hotel, boss kick the door down and find Stangerson stabbed in his side and the window wide open. So yeah, kind of a more dramatic scene there where action is happening right then. The word Rache is written on the wall above his head. So again, this word again. And I'll say, which we remember means revenge in German. So that's from a prior chapter. Let's see, what can we say here? Lestrade says a boy saw a man climbing out of the window, but didn't really think it was too strange. Sherlock becomes very interested in some pills that were found in the hotel room. He immediately gives one to an old dog, and they wait and see what happens. After a few minutes, nothing happens, and Sherlock is shocked that his logic and theory is wrong. He kind of he kind of recovers by realizing that he should give one more pill or another pill. I don't know. Is only two, or I guess it must be only two. Give one more pill to the dog, which kills it instantly. Wow. So they kill this dog. It's notable that in the movies or TV shows, the dog there's usually a sleeping dog, or there's a dog somewhere that gets drugged or is only sleeping. But I'll make a comment that the author does comment that this dog has a snow white muzzle, which means that it's well beyond its natural years on Earth, which means it's time for it to die anyway. So don't worry about it. Don't get mad at me. All right. So yeah, that's more action there. Sherlock now has it all figured out. He's all figured out, no problem. Doesn't explain it to anyone. All he says is that this killer is very clever, and that the person supporting him or controlling him, supporting him, is also incredibly clever and far beyond the ability of the police beyond the Yeah, police. That's a good one. Okay. Next, one of Sherlock's youths appears, saying that his taxi has arrived. The cab driver comes in to the house, which is strange. Like, why is he coming in? And Sherlock handcuffs him immediately, saying, "This is Jefferson Hope, the murderer." Wow. And that's the end of part 1. So he has it all figured out. The name, and we're left, you know, how did you do that? What happened? Yeah, so we, the reader, and Watson, and the other detectives were just, you know, mystified how he knows everything, but it's interesting we get to learn later how he knows everything. But anyway, let's see if I can, this is probably too much, but let's see if we can cut some things out. I might say maybe this part, we don't really need this part. Yeah, about the newspapers, we'll say, yeah, at the... maybe we don't even need this other youth people too. Okay, we'll put that in. At the beginning of the chapter, we'll say, yeah, the gang of youths appeared. We cut one part out. We'll cut out the newspaper part. A gang of youths appeared. They seem to be Sherlock's helpers. He pays them each 1 shilling to... Well, 1 shilling. A gang appear, who are Sherlock's helpers. Well, Sherlock's paid helpers. Okay, now we can cut this out. All right, so we cut out the newspaper. Not really important enough. Okay, getting paid helpers. And then next, Detective Gregson shows up triumphantly because he has tracked down where the dead man was staying. Well, yeah, we don't need the hat. And how? By the hat maker, but who cares? Just he's found out where he was staying, which he thinks has solved the case. Okay. Then Detective Lestrade shows up, looking very troubled. His task was to go after dead man's secretary Stangerson, who, it turns out, was killed this morning, 6 a.m., which means this case is more complicated. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 1 chapter. There you go. That's everything that happens there. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's keep going. So chapter 7. Maybe I'll take this out. Just say start new paragraph here. Lestrade explains how he found the secretary and went to his hotel, but when he got there, there was blood pooled from under, blood pooled in the hallway. That's enough. We'll say, yeah, it's a pretty bloody scene. Okay, Lestrade, and we'll say, yeah, just Lestrade kicks the door down. We don't, who cares about the other guy? And finds Stangerson stabbed in his side and the window wide open. All right. The word Rache, is written on the wall above his head, which we remember means revenge in German. Okay. Yeah, maybe keep still this paragraph. Lestrade said... so yeah, somebody saw a man. That's not really strong enough to keep, so we'll take that out. And now, new paragraph. Sherlock becomes very interested in some pills that are found in the hotel room. He merely gives one to an old dog, and they wait and see what happens. Oh, okay. We'll say to an old dog, but... cut this out. But after a few minutes... but after a few minutes, nothing happens, and Sherlock is shocked. And, yeah, well, is shocked. He maybe regains his confidence by realizing that he should give one pill, give another pill to the dog, which kills it instantly. The author does not comment, we'll say describe the dog as having a snow white muzzle, which means that it's, and I think that is what he says, so I'll put quotes here, which means that it's well beyond its natural years on Earth. Yeah. Yeah, I'll make is that enough? Yeah, new paragraph here now. Sherlock now has it all figured out, but doesn't explain to anyone. All he says is that the killer is very clever, and that the person supporting him is also incredibly clever, and far beyond the abilities of the police. Next, one of Sherlock's youths appears, saying that his taxi has arrived. The cab driver comes into the house. I'm going to say which is a little strange. And Sherlock handcuffs him immediately, saying this is Jefferson Hope, the murderer. I'm going to say this is the murderer, and then colon Jefferson Hope. Even he knows the name. All right, and that's it. So, oh, yeah, that's all. Okay, good. So, yeah, pretty... Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't do this part. Okay, we got to go back. Chapter 5. Oh, okay, shoot. Yeah, let's do this. Out of order. So we'll cut this out. Okay. I'm going to say, at the very beginning, yeah, Watson tries to rest, but is consumed by the murder. And Sherlock, the concert, I don't care, can see that he is disturbed. Okay, Sherlock put an ad in the newspapers that a gold wedding ring has been lost in hopes of the murderer, in hopes that the murderer will come to collect it. Okay, the ring is a replica. He does this because he believes that the drunk man... Oh, no, yeah, the drunk man that the police let get away. He does this because he believes that the drunk man that the police let get away from the murder scene is, in fact, the murderer. And that he came back to get the ring, but because there were too many police, he pretended to be drunk and then escaped. Yeah, that's a pretty complicated explanation, but yeah, in the chapter before, the police say, I saw a man, he was so drunk, it was unbelievable, in a brown jacket, and why was he wandering around there? Sherlock says it's because he wanted to get back in the house, he forgot the ring, but then he couldn't get back in because the police were all there. All right. Okay, new chapter. Okay, Watson gets his gun. Maybe the gun we can cut. Sherlock is so sure that the man will come, and sure enough, the doorbell rings. We'll say, yeah, Sherlock is puzzled. Oh, yeah, we'll say, but he is puzzled. Because it's an old woman. All right, cut this down. She talks about her daughter, how glad she is, how glad she is, and gives her address. We'll just say, yeah, they give her the ring and let her go because Sherlock is going to follow. Okay, let me cut her. Yeah, Watson stays home and Sherlock jumps on the back of the taxi that the lady climbs into. Back of the lady's taxi. That's better. And then at midnight, Sherlock comes home in defeat because when the taxi arrived at the lady's destination, there was nobody inside. Yeah. Okay, then now we got this summary. Join this up. And there you go. That's 3 chapters, although out of order at the end. But we did it. Okay, chapters 5 through 7. Sherlock. There you go. All right, so that should do it for this one. There you go, about 28 minutes. Well, so now we start part 2 next time, so we'll see you then.